I'm the type of person that doesn't like things being wrong. If I see something wrong, I try to fix it.
Pat has a passion for justice that I think is refreshing for an attorney, because I think we all like to think that we do, but so few of us have had to experience an injustice the way that he has.
I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I knew something was wrong. And not just for me, for the 474 people that were arrested with me.
Ocala, so it's a town in Florida of about 60,000 people, and like many towns across the nation, really, they wanted to develop business and make it more hospitable, and in the mayor's mind anyway. To do that, they wanted to get rid of the homeless.
It was to the point of harassment, because, you know, you can't sleep in this park. If you put a blanket out in this park before and try to go to sleep, take a nap, they would arrest you for open lodging. I was fined over $6,000. I was incarcerated for 209 days total.
If you are homeless, that's an element of the crime in Ocala, and that is unusual.
It was incredibly dehumanizing, and in addition to the way it made our clients feel, that they were less than, that they were not welcome in the city, it was also incredibly destabilizing.
You're fining a homeless person. I have no money to begin with, that's why I'm homeless. And you give me these fines that you know I can't pay. So, and that's how I started looking it up, because they put kiosks in the county jail.
He himself had done quite a bit of legal research around this issue, and actually approached the table we were at and came to us and said, I hear you're looking into open lodging. And he showed us a court case by the name of Martin versus Boise, which ultimately was the precedent that our case was built upon.
I brought up case law, and they were like, oh, and I had the paperwork and everything.
And then he introduced us to other people in the same circumstance, and that's how we found some of the other plaintiffs.
Before we filed our court case, there had been 425 arrests for open lodging. After we filed our case, there were only 5 arrests.
Ultimately, we filed a motion for summary judgment, and we sought to tell the court that on just a few of the claims, we had enough evidence already.
The judge in that decision held that the city of Ocala was violating the 8th Amendment because they did not inquire as to whether or not shelter was available before arresting, and he enjoined the city, so he stopped the city from arresting individuals experiencing homelessness for lodging in the open unless officers actually engaged in that inquiry. The other aspect that we challenged and that we were successful on is that the city had to implement a appeals process by which someone who has trespassed from a public space could appeal that trespass, could request that it be lifted so that they can return to that public park in the future and are not forever banned.
You look at it from an economic perspective, and the money that cities and police departments spend on arresting and targeting, and the jail costs and the fees and the fines, and it just doesn't work.
There's lots of money here, but they're not willing to spend it on. They would rather spend it on horses than humans, which to me, that just doesn't seem right. You know, you got to treat your own kind first.